guys, you know when you are, oh by the way, I am always in this top. If anybody follows me on my fitness Instagram, I swear, I don't know if I really own many other tops, but I got this for free. Not because I'm sponsored by Gymshark, although, hey Gymshark, hey. I'd love to be sponsored by Gymshark, just saying. But I'm not. I just got it free at an event and I love the colour and that's why I wear it all of the time. I went to the gym and I had done a Instagram post today and it was started by a conversation that somebody else had started, and you know when you're just full of like ideas and like thoughts. I'm just full of thoughts and I want to talk about it, and usually I don't talk about this specific stuff on YouTube. So I thought maybe I would try and start recording some of the posts and putting them on YouTube, because maybe people might watch things more than maybe they might read something that's really long. Firstly, I want to say I love my body and all of the bits and bobs that reside inside of it, but I love my body and I am not going to be shamed into drawing attention to some of the bits that don't necessarily fall in line with a social construct, but I'm also not going to apologise for the things that do fall in line with society ideals. Either way, this is my body. You know, my good day might be somebody's bad day. This here is me. So I am not in the realms of sort of telling people what they should do, but I'm gonna. You should love your body too. Like, love it. This conversation started because there's lots of stuff in the fitness world and on social media at the moment, and there's this like body positive movement about abs v no abs, and posing vs not posing, and butt dimples vs not butt dimples. The conversation was started by somebody who I admire and respect and love their Instagram, and I thought it was a really interesting conversation. And the point was that it's those body positive posts are still technically on a body shaming vibe, because it's still making us think about our bodies and connecting our self-worth to what our body looks like. And whilst I completely am open to seeing that viewpoint about that still being body shaming, I'm just gonna say right here and now, like, I'm still going to be a part of that movement, because I still think that it's a massive step forward in terms of what social construct has been formed and made over years and years and generations to what an ideal body should look like. And I think that abs v no abs, you know, me posing in a position where I look leaner and then me posing in a position where I look less lean, I still think has its positive vibes, so that people can see that our bodies are not two-dimensional. They're 3D, they move, they jiggle. Some angles show me looking smooth and other angles show me looking dimply. If I'm in the 12 o'clock sunlight, you see butt dimples. If I'm in 6 p.m. dusk, I look smooth like a baby's bum. One isn't truer than the other, one doesn't make me more worthy than the other. And I think that not showing the different angles is in some way like when people say, oh, I want to get involved in politics, I don't want to be part of that negativity. That's, you know, there's a big movement about that being ignorance, that we have to have these conversations and we have to open up about certain things. That sometimes protesting isn't being negative, it's just being involved and saying, I hear this and I don't agree with it. And so I personally agree that there is this grey area. There's this bit in between. Because we can't go from one messed up social construct of relating our worth to what we look like, to suddenly not caring, not giving a crap, and having hairy legs and showing our butt dimples and it just not being an issue. We can't go from our bodies being a source of self-worth or lack of, to it suddenly not being a factor at all. Like, there is space in between, and I think that it's important to fill that space in between with conversation and being open about it and being honest about it, and being honest about the fact that I have had like body dysmorphia and body image issues throughout a whole lot of my life, and I want to talk about that, and I want to share it, and I want to start a conversation with other people that feel that way, because I think having that conversation just starts change and just helps. You know, why don't we just embrace what our bodies can do and what they're capable of, rather than what they look like? And I think that that is so worthwhile, and I really hope that we can get there. But I also do believe that we're human, and with being human comes ego, and with ego comes comparison. So on these platforms like YouTube or Instagram, for instance, or even Snapchat, which I know a lot of the young people are using these days, you know, with those platforms, whether we share our bodies, posing, our transformations of before and after, whether we share our exercises, our time in the gym or workouts in the park, whether we share yoga flows and handstands, because we're human, and it's humans sharing it and it's humans absorbing it, there still can come slight ego and shame. Whether it's that we want people to see us doing well or looking good, or whether it's that when we see the pictures or the videos, we compare or we judge in some form. I think that it's silly to pretend that there isn't, the ego doesn't come into it, that we are without ego. Because when I say ego, I don't mean it like, oh my god, you got such a big ego. I mean that there's this subconsciousness inside of us that is full of love, and then there's also this brain side of learnt patterns where we don't feel good enough and we don't feel worthy, and you've got this one voice on your shoulder that tells you you are worthy and that you're good enough and that you are great but not better than other people, that you are enough. And then this other thing on the other shoulder saying you're not good enough, you need to do better, you need to be perfect, or you need to appease other people, you are not worthy, you are not enough. Whether that comes in the form of when you think about yourself doing something and you think I'm not good enough, or you think about yourself doing something and you think that you're great and you're like, oh my god, I'm good at this, and then suddenly this voice in your head goes, who do you think you are? Like, that's ego. That's a form of something telling you, yeah, no, you're not good enough. You're not good enough to think good thoughts about yourself. So when you're doing good and you feel like you're doing good, we pull it back and we play small. And generally it's to somehow try and fit into bits of society that appeases other people rather than ourselves. And it's messy. And it's messy in the fitness world. It's messy in the body image, self-love world, because there is a whole load of shame about how we should look, how we want to look, why we want to look a particular way, how we get there, and whether we should completely let go of that. It's messy. I think that ego and shame will always come into these, especially like new age of social media, of, you know, because in this new age of media, because you're being shown something and it's hard not to make any judgments. And the only way we can move past that ego and shame, personally, I think, is if we love. Until we learn to love ourselves so deeply, until we are so self-assured and connected to our values and our own mindset and our own ideas, until we know our worth and that we are enough, I believe that shame often wins until we find that connection, that deep connection with ourselves. And I don't believe that these platforms can show you self-love. I don't believe that I can say certain things and then suddenly you're gonna have self-love. I don't believe that Instagram as a platform, even if you follow the people that share these messages, I don't believe you're gonna learn self-love. In the same way, I can show you how to diet effectively to lose weight, and I can give you all the tools to get there, but unless you implement it in a way that suits your lifestyle and in context to you, it's not going to necessarily mean anything. So we can share tools and use this platform to have a conversation, but it doesn't necessarily mean that suddenly there is a world of self-love. But I definitely think that the conversations to get there help, and if we can fill in the gap between where we want to get to and where we were, we can use these platforms to evolve and dare and share, and we can grow and we can debate and we can rethink things through. We can talk, we can learn, we can move through and make change. I truly do believe that we can love ourselves, not despite the fact that we see women on social media with the ideal bottom and small waist and pert round boobs. I don't believe that I'm saying I love my body even though I don't have those round full boobs and mine are pointy and tubular and small. I don't believe that I'm saying I love my body even though I don't have a teeny waist and bigger hips and a thigh gap and a small butt pert bum and an hourglass figure, but I'm also lean with long legs. I don't love myself even though I don't have those things. I love myself because I don't have those things. I love myself because I'm me and I'm worthy of that love. I am enough already because we all are. And I know that that seems so hippy-dippy, and I didn't used to believe it, and I would never have even said it. I didn't know how to say it with a straight face without self-deprecating myself. But I don't know, somewhere along my journey the switch switched, I guess. And I have bad days, and there are days when I don't know if I believe that, and there are days where I might love myself but I don't like myself, or I might want to make progress and change and I might want to drop a bit of weight or build a bit of muscle, like that's okay too. I can see a woman with stretch marks on their belly as I scroll through Instagram and choose to see love. I can see a woman with a six-pack, abs of steel, and choose to see love. I can see someone lifting up a weight, 200 kilo deadlift, looking aggressive and sweaty and red. Or I can see someone doing a yoga flow with just their body weight, doing handstands to classical music, and I can choose to see love. Because with every image I see, I can learn from, or I can connect to, or I can show compassion for, empathize, or I can relate. I can grow. We don't need to see those images and feel jealous or see with shame. We can choose to see with love. That is down to us. I don't need to see less pert, smooth bottoms and less six-packs. What I need to see is more dimply bums and belly rolls. Because only then will the average body ideal broaden. Only when we see more of other women will the gap of what's not ideal close. Not seeing other bodies won't change anything. It will just mean that a different ideal will come from it. The issue isn't the fact that I see pert bums and small waists and smooth skin. It's that I don't see a variation. I want the ideal of what is beautiful to open up to everyone. I want us all to be a part of the beauty standard and the ideal. You know, whether it's beautiful to be intelligent, it's beautiful to be honest, it's beautiful to be kind, it's beautiful to be empathetic and open, and it's beautiful to share your emotions. We create what is beautiful. So it isn't that we need to do one thing and not the other. We need to embrace it all. I want to see, I don't think that we should write off one thing in favour of the other. No one thing is better than. Butt dimples and belly rolls aren't better than the girl with long legs that looks like a Victoria's Secret model. Yes, we have been told one is better than the other because that's what gets used for ad campaigns. But actually, if ad campaigns showed more of the other and that we would all start feeling a lot more comfortable. And I don't know if the media, there's an industry that makes a lot of money off our insecurities, and I think that we need to start changing our mindsets and our thought processes ourselves. And I choose to see certain things, all things, with love. And the only way I can do that is if at first I choose to love myself. My body, yes, but my mind, my ideas, my thoughts, and my values, and my soul. I choose to love myself first, and then from there, I choose to give love and not be affected by a social construct that wants us to see with fear and shame. Not gonna let that happen. So, choose to see with love. Share more of your imperfections, and let's broaden the beauty standard. Okay. Bye. Laters, taters.